Welcome back to the Podgressives podcast. I'm your host, Dakota Talks. Over there, fidgeting with his wire, is my co-host, Ryder.
God damn it.
You good over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
We're going to be talking this week about how suddenly every single person is pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
Where was everybody? So if you guys haven't been seeing, recently, everyone started to speak out on Gaza, and I think there's a few reasons for that.
Yeah.
But it's very frustrating and it's very good at the same time, and we're going to be talking about this. We also have some other stuff. New Trump tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
Israeli settlers kill Palestinian activists who helped create the Oscar-winning film No Other Land. France is going to recognize a Palestinian state. Fox News is mad at Zohran Mamdani because he had a wedding that was in an expensive neighborhood.
A wedding in Uganda, goddamn.
Oh no, he had an African wedding in a wealthy neighborhood. He's a fake champagne socialist. It's like, what are we doing? The left party in the UK, the Socialist Party, is a huge success. And we got some...
DOJ fired antitrust officials.
Hell yeah. What's antitrust? We don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
I trust you. We trust America. Do what it is. So why would we want antitrust?
Yeah.
Antitrust. It's communist. So we got a bunch
socialist
of
stuff.
Exactly. Also, Ghislaine Maxwell is seeking a pardon in order to testify in front of Congress. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, but we're going to be mainly focusing on the first of all, humanitarian crisis in Gaza, the genocide, the ongoing genocide, the starvation campaign, the weaponization of aid, as well as the sudden switch in political conversation in terms of this from the mainstream media, from celebrities, from talking, just everyone suddenly changed. So we're going to be talking about that. Firstly, let's just go over a few people that I've seen talk about this. First of all, I've been seeing, I was at the gym the other day, and I've been seeing everyone just, CNN and the BBC and, NBC and all these things, the more, liberal mainstream press that usually is it looks like Israel might have killed 25 people when they killed that aid truck and then they buried it in mass grave. It looks like they might have done that, but we don't really know. And then more information comes out and it's they definitely did it. And they're like, okay, so it looks like they kind of did it, but they said that they didn't mean to, or something like that, And so it's usually they're kind of running defense for Israel on every single thing that they do. But recently they've suddenly been going breaking news. It looks like people are starving and dying in Gaza. It's they're what's going on?
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. They're literally for the past 2 years, they've been sitting there going there's justifiable. We got to get rid of Hamas because they're anti-Semitic terrorists and they're going to kill the entire state of Israel and we have to continue to fund them. And, it's the most moral democracy. And then next thing you know, they're breaking news, there's a genocide happening. It's we've been telling you about this for 2 years.
Yeah.
But some people have been speaking out that I don't place as much blame on. People people from my school that I knew. I started seeing last week, everyone just posting stories about there's a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. People are starving. It's unacceptable. Some friends of mine have posted about it. My buddy Zach, who's largely not talked about this kind of stuff before, which I respect that. People like Bobby Altoff, who makes a podcast.
I forgot about her. The industry plant.
Yeah, everyone thought she was an industry plant. Billie Eilish posted about it, which she's been pretty vocal, to be honest. And her brother as well, Phineas. Jenna Ortega, who's also been decently vocal on it, but she posted again. A lot of people that you haven't seen speak out about this kind of thing before, have randomly started to speak out about it. One of those people is someone that a lot of liberals watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
One of the biggest independent news organizations. They are the Midas Touch, okay? They usually are super, for lack of a better term, libbed up.
Yeah.
Where they're kind of always... They're just, I don't know. I feel like my mom watches them a lot.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, everything's breaking news to them. Mm-hmm. Everything. I mean, there's a lot of breaking news these days,
sure.
but
And they do good coverage on a lot of stuff, too. But my mom always watches them, and I always, I'm okay, why are they talking about how, Donald Trump's fingernails are dirty or something? I want to hear them talk about how, Trump's fascist immigration policy or, the genocide in Gaza. Like for the longest time, you could not find a single video from the Midas Touch about Gaza.
Didn't they like a while ago, like 2024, have like internal documents or something about like don't? I swear I saw something.
I haven't seen that, but I don't doubt it.
I don't know, but I saw something like that.
Like they were silencing people talking about Gaza.
Not silencing, but just I don't know. It was something like just trying not to talk about Palestine as much or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they've also.
Yeah, I guess they got to the point where they couldn't ignore it, which
yeah,
you know.
And the popular opinion has just changed so much on it. But
yeah,
so they have hardly said anything about Gaza. Even when the Iran stuff was happening, they were hardly talking about Israel. Like it was very light.
Like Iran got attacked by someone.
Yeah, in fact, right, some ally of ours. In the region.
Yeah, our greatest ally.
No, and they also I remember a few months ago, or it was like maybe 6 months ago now. It was like, look, the genocide had been happening for a long time. It was all I was seeing on my feed, and then I see a video from the Midas Touch, and they're like, anti-Netanyahu protests in Israel or something like that. Or no, it wasn't even that. It was anti-Hamas protests in Palestine. And I was like, this is the only thing you cover about Palestine? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, God.
It pissed me off so bad.
Dude, I saw this other thing, like, the CNN like poll guy, Harry something, I forgot what his Harry, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was like going over like the Israel stuff or Benjamin Netanyahu's favorability. Benjamin Netanyahu's favorability in the United States right now is negative 23 points. In November 2023, like the month after October 7th, it was 47 plus.
Wow.
49%.
That's crazy.
Positive net favorability. Now it's negative 23 net favorability. And then the other commentator that was like talking with him was like, "Oh my gosh, why?" Or I don't know.
Rise of anti-Semitism.
I mean, I don't know. She's like, "This is concerning." Like she said, concerning. I'm like,
Lord have mercy. No, I also saw a poll the other day that was saying that like about 8% of national Democrats like in America support Israel. 8%.
Yeah, it's really low.
That's really, really low. It's lower than it's ever been.
It's just Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem
it's literally
Jeffries.
just the people that are in Congress.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might be.
If you compare the percentage of people that support Israel that are Democrats in the United States of America to the congressional Democrats, it is a completely opposite graph. Like, probably 8% of Democrats in Congress are against Israel, and 8% are for Israel that are in the United States of America. It's absolutely absurd. I think it's a little bit higher among Republicans that support Israel, but it's still,
I saw
young Republicans, it's very low, but older Republicans, it's
the
very
same
high.
graph showed like I think congressional Republicans 71% support Israel or Benjamin Netanyahu
in Congress.
I don't know. They didn't say it; just said Republicans.
Probably that's probably in the public then.
Yeah, that's probably just all the old boomers that are like, Hamas, run!
Yeah, it seems like among young Republicans, they're becoming more disillusioned with that, but that's mainly because of people like Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, who are like insane anti-Semitic, or like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like people who are definitely anti-Semitic and don't. They're like, yeah, we like that they're killing brown people, but we just wish they weren't Jews. It's like that. Whoa, okay. Yeah, so that's not the perspective that we're coming from. But I just think it's very frustrating. So the reason I brought up the Midas Touch people is because they finally spoke out on Gaza. And I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like he's been holding this in. Like it feels like he's literally been actively suppressing this feeling in his thought. Because they're very, very libbed up. They usually are constantly running cover for the Democrats on every single issue. They're constantly nitpicking things about Donald Trump, talking about a lot of things that, in my opinion, are not necessarily what we should be spending our time talking about. Like, because I think that the reason they do that is because they're very, very, very partisan to the Democrats. Yeah. And if they were to address like the root problems and the things that Trump is appealing on to like younger people, then they would have to address problems with the Democratic Party. Like, they would have to address, because the reason that Trump is so popular is because so many people are so like disillusioned with the status quo, and the Democrats decide to maintain the status quo, which is like the fucking like capitalist system that's just squeezing you of everything you have and making your life hell in every single regard. Obviously, Trump's not here to help that. No, but he acts like he is, and so that's why it does anything. But so the Midas Touch doesn't talk about that part. They just are like Trump's bad, and he is, but you got to be a little bit more, And that's why they never talk about Gaza either, is because if they criticize Trump on Gaza, they have to criticize Biden on Gaza. And they've literally had Biden on their show before.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Right after the election, I'm pretty sure it was, they had Biden on the show.
He's like, I could have still run, I swear.
He's like, I would have been great in the race.
Yeah.
Can I still run? Am I still running? I forgot.
Yeah. What month is it?
I'm staying in the race. It's like, Biden, you already dropped out months ago.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. If he had that, oh God.
No, but anyways, my point is that they're usually very partisan to the Democrats, and they never talk about Gaza. So here's a clip of the Midas Touch guy finally speaking out on Gaza.
Certainly not, as you mentioned, anti-Semitic to criticize what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing. I think it is absolutely horrible what Netanyahu is doing. And you don't have to be supportive of like Likud and Netanyahu. And by the way, there are actually a lot of people in Israel who do not support Benjamin Netanyahu.
Now, real quick. Okay, first of all, it's not a Netanyahu problem. Netanyahu is insane. Objectively an insane, fascist, genocidal monster, war criminal. But it is not his doing that the apartheid state of Israel exists. It's a decades-long colonial project
by the UK and then the United
US
States
and
took over.
It is objectively what the Israeli Zionist project is a colonial exterminationist project to get rid of the Palestinians and take all of their land. So it's not like, it kind of is the liberal Zionist thing too, where it's like Netanyahu's an extremist, but the state of Israel still should exist and still should, be an apartheid state, but we just, shouldn't kill so many people, only kill them with the governmental policy and slowly expanding into their territory. Don't kill them by starving them.
Yeah.
It's looking bad.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing that Bernie does, which is a little bit frustrating.
Yeah. Old Bernie dog.
Yeah. But also when he quoted the thing that a lot of people in Israel don't support Netanyahu, most of the people that don't support Netanyahu in Israel,
they're in a jail cell somewhere.
Well, there's also a lot of crackdown on free speech for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't serve, I was just watching something the other day from the Majority Report. They interviewed a kid who was like 20, I think he was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah. Oh, the conscription.
He refused to go to the IDF.
Yeah.
It's like something that you have to do there, and he went to prison for that. And a lot of people, he said like, it's very what he was saying was that in Israel, most people that don't support Netanyahu, and Netanyahu is pretty unpopular, but it's not because of the genocide. It's because of the corruption cases, and like he's unpopular for like domestic reasons, not for genociding a group of people. Like most people, I'm not saying that everybody in Israel is a genocidal monster, but they are groomed to being in support of an ethnic cleansing campaign. And Netanyahu is not unpopular because of that ethnic cleansing campaign. He's unpopular because of a lot of domestic reasons.
Oh, okay.
So I just think that's something that's worth noting, that is a little bit dishonest that a lot of like liberal Zionist people use when they talk about the extremist Netanyahu government. Okay.
Netanyahu and what he and his government have been doing in Gaza is an absolute travesty. Absolutely go after Hamas, but what has taken place there is frankly unforgivable. It is so tragic to see innocent people dying, kids and women and people there. And you can have basic humanity and speak out against atrocities that are happening there and watching people starve to death. And that does not make you anti-Semitic at all. You can criticize Netanyahu. You can criticize that regime. And let me be very, that's not anti-Semitic. And so I hate when they try to weaponize that and bring Netanyahu and he's like, well, Donald, I'm going to recommend for you that you get the Nobel Peace Prize. And really, Netanyahu and Trump getting the Nobel Peace Prize, what they are doing to the world is creating massive instability. No, there are countries around the world, from Canada to Europe and elsewhere, that put out a statement saying that there needs to be humanitarian aid immediately brought into Gaza, that's calling out what Netanyahu is doing. And the United States, once again, is one of the only countries that don't sign on to that. And that barely got any attention at all. So I wanted to bring that up.
So yeah, I mean, like, again, he's still coming from a perspective that's a little bit like Zionist, but I think it's a vast improvement to anything
he definitely had some passion in that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you can tell he's been like thinking about this for a while and hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I'm gonna say it.
He's like, okay, finally, it's been long enough where it looks like it's a Trump policy and not a Biden policy, so now I can finally say something about it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it feels like. But
yeah,
I also have this story from Jenna Ortega that she just posted like 20 hours ago, where it says Gazans are being starved to death. Here's how to help, and then she posts like a link to a thing. So I just want to show that to like people like this, like actors, pop stars, all these different people are speaking out about this situation, like seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So what changed is the question.
I feel like I think what might have changed is like there was this picture of this mother in Gaza holding her kid, and I mean, the kid's like malnourished, starving, and I mean that got really good coverage.
Yeah,
better than most, I would say.
I think it has
and
been.
I think it was mostly that picture, and then maybe people started to look into it a little more than they would usually maybe not look into it at all.
Yeah,
and like holy shit, this has been happening. People have been telling the media on both sides have been telling like, oh no, it's Hamas, they're killing everyone, run, don't look at this other stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like I think it's that also. It's just the pictures have been coming out and they're more, I mean they were more graphic when it first started and all this, but I feel like now it's actually gotten mainstream attention a little bit more than usual, so people are starting to realize it now and wake up.
I think you're right. I think you're right that it is the mainstream attention that's making more people talk about it. But I think the reason the mainstream media is talking about it, like you were saying, is just the insane. The thing is, like, it's hard for me to say that the pictures have gotten any worse, because I've been seeing fucked up shit like this for like over a year at this point. Like, I've been seeing literal children's bodies like being uncovered in piles of rubble. I've seen dozens of videos of cars driving through Gaza where there's literally, like, you can see bombs dropping in the distance. They're literally driving through piles of rubble, and there's a truck with a bunch of people crying and screaming and bleeding, with a bunch of people piled up that are all dead sitting in the back truck, and they're driving down the road like almost hitting stuff, trying to get to some hospital that's barely functioning because fucking Israel just bombed it like 3 days ago, and they're not even allowing like medical supplies into Gaza because they're could be used as weapons or whatever. Like
like medical supplies, baby formula.
Baby formula. Yeah,
I think it was a Majority Report episode I was listening to from last Friday on Saturday when I was at work, and a doctor was on.
Yeah.
And he literally got searched. The baby formula got taken. Nothing else got taken.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
No, because that's the other thing. I think it's a lot of it's just because, like I said, we've been seeing the bombs, we've been seeing all this for so long, and we've been seeing, videos of Israeli settlers coming in and killing people, and we've seen videos of like Palestinian prisoners being, like sexually assaulted on video, and then things like that. So it's like we've seen this kind of thing happen so many times. So much fucked up shit come from this region, and they never talk about it ever. It seems like. But then when people start starving, and it's children starving, I think it's something like
mostly
they
children.
Can't be like, this child is Hamas.
Yeah, no.
They're like this. There's literally a child that's dying on your phone screen. He's turning blue. You can see his ribs, and he's dying because our tax dollars are going to Israel, and what they're doing with those tax dollars is they're weaponizing aid. They're not allowing in baby formula and food. They're drip feeding food, and they're deliberately not giving enough food for them. So people are starving. Like, I saw something the other day, like 14,000 children are at risk of dying if the siege doesn't stop, like, now, and it's already probably too late because these people are at such a severe level of malnutrition where a lot of them cannot. If they were to start eating now, they could get in serious medical trouble if they decided to start eating like a normal person, because of how, like, when you don't eat for so long, if you start eating again, you can get really sick. And then also some of these people will, if they survive, will be affected on like a like metabolic level where like their kids will have effects from the severe malnutrition they've had.
That's what I've heard. It will affect generations, not even just like them.
That's what happened in the Holocaust as well.
Yeah.
And the pictures coming out of Gaza of starving children are exactly like pictures coming from concentration camps in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Like, to a T. The only difference is what country it's in and the time. That's literally the only difference in the photos.
And also, like, you go back to the tax dollar thing. I don't think most people realize, like, I mean, we're paying for it. We're paying for Israel to just bomb children, starve children,
exactly,
kill random kids walking and there's no one around and the rubble's like flattened.
Exactly. Yeah. We're funding aid to Gaza.
Yeah.
That Trump was recently like, he was like, I approved $40 million in aid to Gaza, and no one talked about that. And it's like, yeah, because that aid that you're talking about is used as a weapon to kill people. Over 1,000 people. We talked about this last week. Over 1,000 people have been killed at aid sites.
No, I saw this one thing where like a U.S. mercenary gave like some kid food, and then like an IDF soldier just like fucking shot the kid in the head.
Dude, it's really fucked up. And then also like here's some footage of let's look at. Let me show you guys some pictures. This is a little bit of a trigger warning here because this stuff's gonna be pretty disturbing. This is like some of the photos of like the severely starved children here. This is a boy. Here's a mother holding one of her kids. You can like see how starving these people are. These are people begging for food with their buckets out. Again, children, like very young children. They all seem like they're very not fed well. This one as well. It's absolutely tragic. Like there's a lot of photos like this that you were talking about.
Yeah, like I think it was the one that you first showed. It was like the mother holding the kid or whatever.
This one?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, one of those. It's just really awful.
It is
terrible.
Absolutely disgusting. Because I mean, this is a completely man-made starvation.
Yeah,
it's not. This is this is our tax dollars hard at work. Is this right here? And it's really, really, really fucked up. And so, yeah. So on top of that, here's another video of where'd it go? There's another video of people, the aid trucks coming in, and the starving civilian population is so hungry that they literally like essentially swarm on the truck. And this is just some of the most dystopian, terrifying, tragic footage ever. You can just see like hundreds and hundreds of people trying desperately to get food. And as it says in the caption, Gaza requires approximately 500 trucks daily to meet the needs of the civilians and the private sector. However, only a limited amount of aid is deliberately allowed in. This policy of drip feeding subsistence keeps the population in a state of constant deprivation, barely alive yet suffering, which constitutes a severe violation of international humanitarian law and may amount to a war crime. Definitely amounts to a war crime.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, the hell, we're like breaking every law. We're never, but we're supposed to be the like human rights experts, and we're just like violating every law in the book.
I don't think we've ever really followed it though.
No, I mean, no, we haven't.
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's the idea,
right? Of course. But so I think you're right, and that it is just there's no excuse. Like you can try to lie about how Israel killed a bunch of aid workers and they bombed a bunch of hospitals and stuff, but Hamas was underneath those hospitals. Hamas was around those aid workers.
That's not working anymore.
It's not working when it's children being deliberately starved because Israel said, hey, we're not going to let baby formula in. Like you cannot, there's no defense. No defense. Not that there's a defense for bombing a hospital, but they have an argument. It's a terrible, shitty lie of an argument, but it's an argument. And so I think you're right. I think that's why. But we want an end to this.
Yeah, no, we do.
Trump says there was talks of a ceasefire.
Yeah,
as usual.
Which just fell
and
through.
Israel's like, Hamas says it has a lack of desire for ceasefire. So this is a Fox News clip of the ceasefire falling through.
All right, now to some world news. The United States cuts Gaza ceasefire talk short, saying Hamas is showing a lack of desire to reach a truce.
This is happening as humanitarian conditions worsen in Gaza. Leah Bino is joining us from the Live Center this morning, tracking the very latest. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning. Yes, the U.S. negotiating team is leaving Qatar and returning home to discuss next steps. The ceasefire talks have been stalled over competing demands for ending the war. Israel says it will not agree to end the conflict until Hamas gives up power, and the militant group said...
Okay, here's the thing that really pisses me off every time they say this. It's not Hamas destroying these ceasefires.
No.
Because Hamas has literally said multiple times, we will give up arms if we agree to a permanent ceasefire.
Yeah.
And Israel's like, well, we don't want that. Israel does not want Hamas to give up their arms. Because if Hamas gives up their arms, how are they going to justify their ethnic cleansing campaign? They literally want them to keep their arms. That's what they want them to do. Even though they say constantly, we need to get rid of Hamas. They don't want Hamas gone because they can't say we need to get rid of Hamas if Hamas is gone.
Yeah.
Like Hamas says, we will give up our arms. We will disillusion the Hamas leadership, and we will if we have a guarantee of a permanent ceasefire. And Israel says no.
No, we want to keep bombing you.
They say literally, well, no, we want you to give up your arms, and then we're going to bomb you again. And it's like, well, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we know that. They know. Israel knows that they're not going to say yes to that. That's why they offer it. So it looks like, oh, they're trying to get a ceasefire and Hamas is spoiling it. But it's like, no, they've said they would agree to a ceasefire with this conditions. And Israel's the one going, no, we don't want to stop this forever, just for a little bit.
Yeah. Just
and
for a couple days,
Yeah. They want it to look like Hamas is saying, no, we want to stay in power. But that's literally not what they're saying.
Yeah.
Literally the opposite of what they're saying.
Says it is prepared to leave power but not surrender its weapons. Now, this prompting U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff to bring home the American mediators. Witkoff saying, in part, Hamas does not appear to be coordinated or acting in good faith. We will now consider alternative options to bring the hostages home and try to create a more stable environment.
What does that mean?
That means
genocide.
Yeah.
This is a clip of Trump telling Israel to finish the job because Hamas spoiled the ceasefire deal.
Yeah, Gaza, they pulled out of Gaza. They pulled out in terms of negotiating. It was too bad. Hamas didn't really want to make a deal. I think they want to die, and it's very, very bad.
That's crazy.
And it got to be to a point where you're going to have to finish the job. They really, they asked for things. Don't forget, we got a lot of hostages out. So now we're down to the final hostages, and they know what happens after you get the final hostages. And basically because of that, they really didn't want to make a deal. I saw that. So they pulled out, and they're going to have to fight, and they're going to have to...
Think about this situation, too. You are in Palestine, or you are a member of Hamas because, I don't know, every single one of your ancestors has been killed by the Israeli apartheid state. Your house was bombed by Israel. Where your grandma used to live is now in the heart of Israel because that they've taken that land over the past 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that situation. So you are in like one of the only forms of resistance against that genocidal apartheid state. And you're trying to defend yourself against that.
Yeah.
Not justifying every action of Hamas by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm saying that think about the perspective of someone in Hamas and Israel, the people who have been bombing the shit out of you, starving your population, come to you and say, hey, we're gonna what would you say if we take all the hostages that you have and we we say we'll stop bombing you for a little bit, and you completely give up all your arms, and you just act like none of this ever happened, and then we'll see what happens from there. It's like, why would you say yes to that? Because if they take your hostages, I'm not justifying hostages, but I'm saying that if in that position, if they take your hostages away, your only form of power, leveraging power, any form of leverage that you have, and you're putting up arms.
Yeah.
And like Trump literally just said, they know what happens if they take the final hostages. What happens when they take the final hostages? That means the Palestinian people have no leverage anymore. And so what happens then? What happens when they take the final hostages? They finish the fucking job. That's what they do. Once Hamas is gone, and once which they're not gonna give up arms, because that's not what Israel wants them to do. But they're saying like, even if they were to give up arms and give away all their hostages, now they got no sort of resistance. Now they have no sort of leverage. Like, I'm not justifying taking hostages and killing innocent people, but I'm just saying, like, from that perspective, of course you're gonna say no to that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. And then Trump's like, I think they want to die. And we should just end them all. We should just give them their wish. It's like, what are we saying?
Yeah.
But after all that, and when all the people started speaking out about it, people were getting a little bit angry at Israel. And Trump, as the true populist that he is, said he kind of broke from Netanyahu, who said that starvation is not happening in Gaza. Trump said that kids are starving in break with Netanyahu. President Trump said on Monday that he disagreed with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's claim that there's no starvation in Gaza. What is he saying? Based on television, I would say not particularly, because those children look very hungry, Trump said, when he was asked if he agreed with Netanyahu. Later, he said, there is real starvation in Gaza. You can't fake that. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't have to read this whole thing, but I just kind of wanted to show that part. Like, Trump is now saying there's starvation in Gaza. This is fucked up.
It's so crazy because it's like Trump's like, he breaks with Netanyahu a little bit, and then like a couple days later, he's like, Hamas is not in good faith. We need to bomb the shit out of them right now.
He'll be like, here's a video of what I'm gonna make Gaza, an AI video of what Gaza's gonna look like when I'm done with it. And then he's like, but then when it's like starting to backfire a little bit, he's like, I think it's bad that people die. And then people are like, yay! And then like 2 days later, he's like, Netanyahu, you want to come to the White House? I want to kiss you from head to toe and suck you up and down. And then, and everyone's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, right, sorry. People are starving.
Yeah, for real.
And then he's like, I think they want to die. It's like, what? He doesn't care about the situation.
He's
just like, which way is going to make me money and make me popular? That's literally all he cares about. He's like, which in some ways is maybe a little bit better than Biden, because Biden was like, I don't care if this way is going to make me popular. I want to do genocide, Jack.
Yeah, Biden, he was not aware of anything.
He's like, we're working tirelessly for a ceasefire, except we're never going to do a ceasefire. We're going to we're going to, even though I could definitely make a ceasefire happen right now if I really wanted to, I'm just going to sit here and kind of let it happen and fund it. And Biden was definitely more dedicated to the Zionist project. Trump's just like, well, I make like millions of dollars from AIPAC, and people,
hundreds of million, 230 million
people in Congress like it when I say that Netanyahu's like cool and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I guess I'll do that.
Yeah, like Congress is popular.
Yeah, right. And then, and then when he sees people on his Truth Social and stuff being like, hey, it's kind of fucked up what's going on over there. He's like, it's kind of fucked up what's going on over there. That's kind of all I got for you.
Yeah.
But it's just, he's a fake populist.
He is.
Shape and form. Okay, you want to talk about the...
Yeah, let's talk about like the Al Jazeera thing that I put up.
The World Health Organization reports a sharp rise in malnutrition and disease, with large proportion of Gaza residents now starving. Doctors Without Borders, known for its French initials MSF, says a quarter of all young children and pregnant breastfeeding women screened at its clinics in Gaza last week were malnutritioned, blaming Israel's deliberate use of starvation as a weapon. The hunger has been building among Gaza's more than 2 million Palestinians, has passed a tipping point and is accelerating deaths, aid workers and health staff say. Not only Palestinian children, usually the most vulnerable, are falling victim to Israel's blockade. The UN, World Food Program, says nearly 100,000 women and children are urgently need treatment for malnutrition, and almost a third of people in Gaza are not eating for days. Medical workers say they have run out of many key treatments and medicine.
Israel. I don't even think Israel's letting medicine in. They're not letting shit in.
They're letting certain types of stuff like that in, but they aren't letting in like surgical equipment. They're not letting in baby formula, a lot of medical supplies. That it's very fucked up. Very fucked up. There's a bunch of images.
I mean, it's just
And this
it's
was
bad.
an article from
Al Jazeera.
Yeah, when day was this?
This
was
like
June 27th.
Oh wow, that was old.
A few days ago.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's really fucked up. Is kind of what we're trying to say there. So after all that, and after Trump was like, it's kind of sad, everyone's starving. Israel, after finally getting some sort of pressure from everybody, almost immediately was like, okay, fine, we'll let in more aid. But the way they did it is a little bit questionable.
Of aid into Gaza are getting
CNN.
a lot of pushback from the UN and other NGOs. The UN's main aid organization inside of Gaza, UNRWA, has said that it is both inefficient, it is expensive, and it can be potentially dangerous. They say there's been examples before where aid that's been airdropped has actually landed on the starving people waiting for it, and in some cases killed them. They're saying that they've got a lot of aid ready to bring into Gaza, 6,000 trucks worth standing by in Jordan.
Oh, you're starving. Oh, no. Here, fine. I'll throw a fucking package, a wooden box of aid directly on your grandson from like 1,000 feet in the air. It's like, that's not what we wanted you to do. There's literally the UN RWA has enough food for the population, the entire population of Gaza to eat for 3 months sitting at the border, and it's not allowed in. You don't need to drop it on the population. You can literally just let that stuff in. It's that easy.
Yeah,
Hamas will steal it.
Yeah, God.
Even New York Times is like, that's not true. Even the fucking New York Times, the Zionist Times, is literally going up there being like, there's no proof that Hamas steals aid.
Yeah. God.
Let's watch the rest of this.
Old Zionist Times.
Yeah.
Jordan. And what the pushback focuses on is that the real way the UN says, and other organizations who describe this, the airdrops, as a distraction, the real way to get aid in quantities and safely to the people of Gaza, they say, is to open up the borders, expand the humanitarian corridors, and pause the fighting. And that's why the UN is pushing back. Now the IDF have said that.
I mean, this is better journalism than we've seen from CNN on this issue in a long time.
No.
Still, fighting.
Who's Israel fighting, like a 2-year-old?
Oh, it's the scary equal battle of a 2-year-old who is completely starved almost to death, can barely walk, and the IDF soldier that's like has a rifle.
18-year-old like war criminal.
Literally, it's like, this is not a fight. This is a genocide. There's no two sides in that.
No.
There's no war. There's no fight. It's a genocidal ethnic cleansing. But yeah, still way better than we've seen from CNN in a long time. Again, this is new.
Yeah. Okay, I think you would know this more than I, because I'm like, I know about the like Gaza and Israel like a lot more than the average person.
Yeah.
So do you. Does Hamas ever like fight back, or are they just like stuck in like?
I'm sure they do to some degree.
Okay,
I don't know. I mean, I haven't
really seen anything about that. You know.
I mean, they're not. The thing is, they don't have like a traditionally like military, is my understanding.
Yeah, they're more of like,
they have like bombs and things like that, but they have them by repurposing bombs that were dropped on the Palestinians. Like they find bombs that Israel dropped on them and they repurpose them and reuse them. Yeah.
Okay.
So like they do obviously fight back in some ways, but not to any like very significant degree.
Dude, I saw where like Israel used like some ISIS affiliates or something like that for, I don't know, some terrorist pretty much.
Oh yeah.
You know? Yeah. That was
it's
oh god,
pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, like again, it's very good to see people finally saying something about it, especially in like the mainstream people on CNN and the New York Times and all these things. Even though literally a week ago we had a New York Times opinion piece that was like, no, it's not a genocide. It's like, what? Oh, but it's very good to see people talking about it. But at the same time, it's like, where the fuck have you guys been?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We've been talking about this for like 20 months at this point, and you guys have been sitting here the whole time being like, no. I saw a clip from, what's his name? Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to remember it. It was some like Democratic guy though, and he was like, maybe if you guys had just spent 10% of the time talking about Hamas, we wouldn't have been so pro-Israel, or something like that. It's like, what?
That doesn't even make sense.
He was saying like, maybe if you guys weren't so anti-Semitic and always never talking about Hamas. I don't know. He's crazy, but
some brain broken AIPAC senator.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then I also want to talk about this. It's also about Palestine, and then we'll get into Zohran Mamdani. We can talk about also France recognizing Palestine. But so there. If you guys haven't seen the movie No Other Land, highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It might be kind of hard to find because it's not available in theaters. It's not available on any streaming service that I'm aware of. You could probably pirate it if you wanted to, but definitely if you can find a way to support the people who made it, that'd be great. We saw it at a local theater. It was not being shown en masse in America. Yeah, so it was lucky that it was
in Miami. They like banned it or something like that.
There were some theaters that got in trouble for showing it. Yeah, and if you haven't seen the movie, essentially what it is it's an Israeli and Palestinian journalists who come together, and this all takes place before October 7th, over a year before October 7th, and they show the oppression and like colonialism that's happening to the Palestinians
It was like way before October 7th. Like,
yeah,
I
think it shows almost 2 years of time from like 2021 to 2023. It ends at October 7th, and that was the last part of the movie. Was like it was talking about that.
Yeah.
But the entire movie takes place before it, and it shows how, again, everyone says like October 7th is when everything started. It's like, it's not at all. If you watch the No Other Land documentary, you'll see people literally were living in their homes. They were doing what they were supposed to do. And Israel comes in and says, our courts say that this is our land now and it's illegal for you to live here. And so they're like, what do you mean? I've been living here for 30 years. And then Israel says, get out, take all your stuff right now. We have a bulldozer right here and we're going to tear down your house. And that's literally what happens all the time in the movie. They show it multiple times to so many different houses. They bulldoze down their homes and they say, this is Israel now. And the families are crying. Obviously, they're protesting and trying to like be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're taking my house away. And people get shot for resisting that. And they try to rebuild in the middle of the night. And the next morning, Israel comes back and just literally plows it down again. Like, this kind of shit was happening all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, this movie was very, very good. It was very, it was a really good movie. Highly recommend you guys go see it if you can. But one of the people who helped work on the movie was recently killed, and by an Israeli settler.
Yeah.
So his name was, so Palestinian. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher the name. Auda Hathaleen was from Massacre Yatta. I'm probably butchering both of those. I'm so sorry. A community whose resistance to an Israeli settler violence was documented in the Oscar-winning film No Other Land. Before we read this article about it, I want to show the video of it. It doesn't show anything brutal, but it is distressing. So this is an Israeli settler guy who's also a renowned Israeli settler.
He's like a violent guy.
He's incredibly like violent, and it's known that.
Yeah.
And even the Biden administration put sanctions on him, and Trump came in and was like, "Let's take those off. That's woke." So this is this guy, absolutely insane. He randomly shoots out over there. And he's just a deranged Israeli settler with a pistol in his hand shooting at people. The other thing is, another thing that I heard in that interview that I was talking about earlier with the guy who refused to go to the IDF was that in Israel, post-October 7th, Israel, already a very militarized area where in schools, there's IDF members in your school all the time. If you're 18, 17, people are always asking you, what are you going to do in the military? When are you going to the military? They're asking, it's not even a question of if you're going to the military, it's what are you going to do when you get there? It is always militarized. And like, as the kid described in the Majority Report interview, he said like, it is so normalized to see guns and pistols and all these things. But post October 7th, they actually gave out a bunch of pistols to a bunch of Israelis to basically just have for defense against like Palestinians, or obviously what a lot of them ended up probably using it for is shit like this, where they go into Palestinian territories and just harass them and shoot at them. And of course, now, is this guy going to get charged with anything?
No.
He did get charged.
Oh, he did?
But a court in Israel has released to house arrest an Israeli settler accused of fatally shooting a Palestinian activist in the occupied West Bank. The suspect, identified as Yinon Levy, was placed under house arrest on Tuesday after a magistrate court in Jerusalem declined to keep him in custody. So, quite literally, he was charged with fatally shooting a Palestinian activist in the lungs in an occupied territory, and he was put on house arrest for that.
That's crazy. How do you know? Does it say how long the house arrest was for?
Let's see. Israeli newspaper Haaretz is reported that Levi faced charges of manslaughter and unlawful firearm use in connection with the killing of 31-year-old Palestinian activist and English teacher who was shot dead on Monday night in the village. Hathaleen was also known for its activism, including helping the creators of the Oscar-winning film No Other Land, which documents Israeli settler violent and soldier attacks on the Palestinian communities. Footage published by Israeli human rights group, I don't even know how to say that, I'm sorry, appears in the Levi opening fire on Hathleen during a competition in the village. Despite the visual evidence and the prior sanctions imposed on Levi, both in the European Union and the United States over the past attacks on Palestinians, Israeli authorities released him to house arrest. Yeah, absolutely unacceptable, of course.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm surprised he even got charged, honestly.
Honestly, me too.
I was like, dang, he got charged? Wow. Woke Israeli judge.
For real. He probably got charged because like, if he didn't, it would look really bad for Israel.
Yeah.
So Israel's probably like, fine, we have to do something.
Yeah. We got to do something.
Similar to when we had the... oh, and I wanted to show this video too, actually, that you'd sent me. This is what this reminds me. When we had like Israel cracking down on this settler who was like going to kill, had sexually assaulted or raped a like Palestinian prisoner, the IDF member, and there was literally video evidence of it. I've seen it. It's really fucked up. Like, it's from a security cam footage. You can see them. You can literally see the IDF members all in a circle around him, blocking the view, and then you can tell what's happening. And then, like, they alternate. It's really fucked up. War crime, obviously, disgusting. And Israel was like, okay, we're gonna prosecute them, because if we don't, it's a war crime, and we're gonna get charged for it.
Like,
so they were like, we're gonna charge them a little
10
bit.
other war crimes that they're charged
Right.
for.
So like, if they were to charge the guys who did it, then they're not responsible for the war crime. But when they were going to charge those people, there was literally riots in Israel because they were going to charge the people who were raping Palestinian prisoners. Like, there was pro-rape riots in Israel. This was like a little bit over a year ago.
Crazy.
But I just think that's worth mentioning, and that's something that I wanted to bring up about that, because this is a clip of Ted Cruz on a plane, and
Cruz.
he is talking about Hamas, how they're rapists, terrorists, murderers.
Do you support the forced starvation of 2 million people in Palestine? Do you support, it's a very easy question. It's a very easy question. Do you support the forced starvation of Palestinians?
To side with rapists and murderers and people who are evil.
So you can't answer the question. You can't answer the question of whether or not you support. Ted Cruz cannot answer the question of whether or
filled
not
with ignorance.
he supports the forced starvation.
Do you support the starvation of 2 million people? He goes,
Hamas on
October 7th,
yeah.
Hamas. That's literally what he said.
Yeah.
He said Hamas on October 7th. It's like, that is not... Israel has done something really terrible to Gaza.
Oh, yeah, no,
of course.
for sure.
But this is an equivalent as if I were to say about Israel doing this to them. If we were to now drop a nuke onto the heart of Jerusalem and kill like every single Israeli, that would be a terrible thing to do.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say, well, yeah, but they did a genocide. I would say, that is terrible. We shouldn't have just killed all those people. That's what he's doing here, where he's like, yeah, they're starving 2 million people, but Hamas killed some people one time. It's like, that does not justify it.
Yeah,
Nothing
no.
justifies that. And it's like, if right now the U.S. were to go in and control the Israeli borders, take all of their food, their baby formula, and start killing and raping their people, I would say that's terrible. We shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I would actively fight against that. And I wouldn't go, yeah, but they also did a bunch of bad stuff before we did that. It doesn't justify that. Like, a genocide is so bad, it doesn't even justify a genocide in retaliation to that genocide. It's just, anyways. I think it's really rich for him to say that, like, talking about how 2 million people are about to die of starvation. Oh, you're supporting rapists and murderers. It's like, you're the one supporting the Israeli government that's literally doing a mass bombing campaign, has killed over at least 60,000 people, likely in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Is currently doing a starvation campaign and has had pro-rape riots.
And that Hamas October 7th line that they use, it just doesn't work anymore.
So dishonest,
it's
too.
dishonest, doesn't work. And they keep saying that, but it's like,
it's become a meme.
Yeah. Israel's past Hamas's October 7th attack.
Yeah.
By like quadruple.
It's literally
whatever.
just a talking point at this point.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's very, very insane. But okay, let's talk about France recognizing a Palestinian state real quick.
So yeah, France will recognize the state of Palestine, could shift Middle East dynamics. France's bold decisions to recognize a Palestinian state could help shift the conversations about the future of the Middle East. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if this is gonna change much.
I don't think it will.
It's good.
The UK said it'll recognize the state.
It's too little, too late.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
kind of the bottom line.
But I mean, it's something.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, it's definitely something. But I would also say that this is probably implying that it's.
Wait, go down. Hold on. Go down a little bit. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go to like the middle.
What is this? Chair workout for men over 50.
Do this until January 31st. What the hell?
Why would I stop then?
Yeah.
Just a 7-minute/day. What? Just 7 minutes a day. Beginner friendly. No equipment.
Huh.
You just sit in a chair if you're over 50 and you just get a 6-pack like this dude.
Yeah.
Look at that beard. That was like my dad's beard.
I know. I'm like, is this your dad?
My dad's jacked all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Wait. I saw something about Hamas.
Hamas. In war with Hamas.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like Hamas has to leave.
Oh my gosh. I did see something about how like some your like states are being like we're gonna recognize Palestinian state if like Hamas disappears or something like that.
Yeah. If Hamas fizzles out of the air,
Yeah. But anyways,
I don't know. I don't think
more places do it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not, enough.
Yeah. No.
You want to talk about Zohran real quick, and then we can talk about
the communist socialist?
Yeah,
I'm terrified of him.
Scary terrorist.
He's gonna globalize the empanada in New York City.
Globalize the inchitapada, and he's gonna also do global jihad.
Yeah.
And he's gonna activate Sharia law in New York State or city, and he's also gonna make it a communist city. and kill all the billionaires and hang all the landlords.
No, like Mao, he's gonna kill all the landlords.
Yeah,
he's gonna public execute all the landlords.
That's literally what Fox News has been saying, though. They're literally like, he wants to kill all of us. He hates billionaires. He's racist towards billionaires and white people.
Nice.
No, okay, so Zohran Mamdani, which I was actually wearing my Zohran Mamdani shirt out in public yesterday.
Zohran Mamdani.
Zohran Mamdani. I was wearing my Zohran shirt out yesterday. I don't even live in New York. I just bought a shirt because I was like, I want to represent, and it shows just like I just want to show support for like this. It's a big thing. I don't live in New York, but I think it obviously it's a national story.
Yeah,
it has a lot of national consequences, and so I was wearing my shirt out in public, and I just like could tell that like older people were giving me like side eye. I could just feel it.
Yeah, you could feel it in the air.
Yeah, because like I mean, Fox News talks about him all the time, all the time, and I mean CNN and those places do too, but not as much as Fox News. Fox News fucking hates his guts, and so I could tell like old people were like,
they were like, what the fuck?
Like I was sitting at this like pizza place yesterday, and I saw this old couple, one of them look at me and talking, and the other one looked over at me too. I was like,
you're like
itching myself, covering up a little bit. But yeah, no, I could just tell I was getting side eyes from it, but it's fine.
We'll fight for them to have free healthcare too.
Yeah. I don't care. We're gonna fight for them to have free healthcare.
Yeah.
So this is Fox News is mad at him because socialist Zohran Mamdani had a wedding in Uganda that was lavish and
he had security.
He had security, and it was like expensive, and it was like he's a fake socialist. Let's watch this clip. The headline says New York City socialist would be mayor Zohran Mamdani throws lavish wedding bash in Uganda. The socialist candidate's 3-day celebration in Uganda featured an exclusive guest list and a cell phone jamming system. Okay, let's watch this video. This is so funny. I saw this in the gym the other day and I was cracking up. Oh, there's an ad. While the ad's playing, I just want to say I saw something in the gym the other day on Fox News and I was laughing.
Increased our production. So, what could Mamdani's policies look like for the nation's most populous city? Let's hear from the candidate himself.
If there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now.
And when you look at the polling, whether it's for making buses free, whether it's for freezing the rent for rent-stabilized tenants, whether it's even for a network of municipal-owned grocery stores, you see that it has support not just among Democrats, but oftentimes even among independents and Republicans. Delivering universal child care is something that can be done with the partnership, especially.
Dude, I love Fox News.
They're making him look so cool.
Fox News is not realizing what they're doing.
They're literally doing, like, I'm like, hell yeah. I'm on board. Let's do it.
Like the one we have today, who's been laser focused on the question of affordable childcare.
All right, let's bring in Stephen Moore, co-founder of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity and a former economic advisor for President Trump. I suspect, Stephen, you would not sign on to be an economic advisor for Zohran Mamdani. What do you think about some of these proposals? Free buses, for instance, in New York City. Sounds like a great idea.
But it would never work.
Oh, yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, and I live in the Washington, D.C. area, John, but I go to New York all the time, once a week or every couple of weeks. And I love New York. It is our empire city. It's the most important city in America, maybe in the most important city in the world. And so this
I love how unaffordable it is there.
Look, we should know from what happened in San Francisco, what's happened in Los Angeles, what's happened in Detroit. My home city of Chicago just elected a fairly socialist mayor about a year ago, and the city's gone downhill quickly, and people are leaving the city.
He said Los Angeles has a socialist mayor?
Yeah.
Isn't it like Karen Bass?
Yeah, it's Karen Bass.
She's not a fucking socialist, is she?
She's just a Democrat, you know.
Yeah, they've got Gavin Newsom as their governor, and they've got Karen Bass as their mayor. Like, they're not a socialist by any stretch of the imagination.
In droves. I don't want that to happen in New York. It would be a wonderful thing if we could give everything to everybody for free. What will happen?
Dude, hold on, pause it real quick. I love how they're like, it would be nice, but it never works, and I love how unaffordable the city is.
Yeah, I love New York just how it is.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we could have things that are better, because it actually sucks right now for most people that live there. But, it's not possible, because it's not.
No, it's not. Stop.
It's never worked any time.
You're always going to pay $3,000 a month for a shoebox apartment.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's so fucking insane. Let's...
One of the central promises that this mayoral candidate Mamdani is talking about is raising taxes on the rich. Well, guess which place in America has the highest tax on the rich right now?
Would it be New York? New York City?
Definitely not.
New York City. Exactly.
It's literally not, though, because New Jersey has a higher tax rate than New York City. That's one of his main campaign things. Is saying, I'm going to raise the corporate tax rate.
Yeah,
what it is across the river in New Jersey.
Yeah, I do hope.
Socialist country of New Jersey, or socialist city of New Jersey.
Yeah, the Tony Soprano socialist city. No, but I do hope that he can get that done, because he has to get approval for that,
and the governor's not
done.
Totally on board.
And the governor's point blank said, "I'm not going to do that."
Dude, it's
so I hopefully he can change some minds or something, because it's not like the freeze the rent thing where he can, just do that and then it's done. He has to actually get approval from people.
Yeah.
And
there's going to be obstacles for sure, but it's a good campaign promise.
No, it is.
It's broadly popular.
Yeah.
These people don't necessarily think that, but it is a broadly popular thing. I've talked to so many Republican friends who think that the elites, the rich people, they think that it's an unfair system.
Yeah.
And they would be I know multiple people who are Republicans who would no doubt vote for Zohran Mamdani if they lived in New York City.
Yeah.
For sure. Because he's like, I'm going to make your life better, and I'm going to tax the rich to do it. And they'd be totally behind that message. It's a broadly popular thing. It's absurd.
Exactly. And New York City is the capitalist center of the world. It's the center of Wall Street, for goodness sakes. And yet you have the highest taxes on capital and on investment and on banks in the world. I mean, in the country. In New York, it doesn't make any sense. It would be like Nebraska putting a huge tax on growing corn. And so this, John, you're there in New York. What's happened to Wall Street?
If growing corn was causing diseases, then you should probably do something about it.
Yeah.
That's exactly the situation that's happening with this. We have vast wealth inequality in places like New York because it's the capitalist center of the world, as he just said. And so
he's like, look what happened to Wall Street, John. It's gone downhill. People are not making any money.
Dude, it's insane. It's like, yes, that's exact. If the corn was causing a bunch of issues, then you would want to disincentivize growing it. The capitalist system in New York City, the vast wealth inequality, the vast unaffordability is causing massive problems for most people who are lower income in the city. So we want to put a tax on it. We want to take the money from the people who are hoarding it to buy up literally like dozens of apartments so they can charge people up the ass for them. And then once they're homeless, then they can buy up some like shitty motel that they can charge them up the ass for to stay at while they're homeless. Like literally that's something that happens. Owned by companies will own a bunch of houses and things like that to rent out.
Yeah.
And then when they jack up the prices on that and no one can afford to live in them, they're forced to live on the street or to live in motels where they are incredibly expensive and run for profit as well. It's a system that preys on people being poor and keeping them poor so they can squeeze them of profit. And it's such an insane thing to say.
Wall Street has been a disaster. It's not the place it was 25 years ago. You want to know where the people from Wall Street are today? They're in Florida. They're in Texas. They're in Utah. They've moved out because the taxes are so high. So my point is, if you continue to raise taxes on the richest 1%, you're not going to have a richest 1%. They're not going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
We don't want them.
Yeah.
We don't want them here. What do you mean? This is such a stupid thing too, is like, they're like, oh, the capital flight, it's going to be disastrous. But like, there's also evidence to show that when taxes like that go up, capital doesn't leave the city. What happens is actually sometimes capital comes into the city. Because the thing is too, is like when you tax the 1%, when you make, hypothetically, not hypothetically, this has happened before. But if you were to tax the 1%, even out wealth inequality and fix living conditions for the people that live there. It makes life better for not only those people, but also for the billionaires, for the 1%. Because maybe they have one less yacht. Maybe they have a couple less. Maybe they're not able to buy that third vacation home in the Bahamas.
I just had an aneurysm.
No, but they're gonna go. They're gonna go to their third vacation home in the Bahamas instead of buying a fourth one because of the corporate tax rate being hiked like 3%. It's like, oh no, it's so scary, socialist. But it's like, no, if we were to even out wealth inequality in this country and make people's living conditions more affordable, there'd be less homeless people. There'd be less crime. There would be less distaste for people who are in the 1%, and the people who are in the 1% would literally have better living conditions because of it. Yes, they would be able to not buy a seventh yacht, but they would be able to probably walk down the street without seeing a bunch of homeless people living everywhere because those people have homes now. It's socialism is... This is the difference between like far right and far left. Is like far right has an outgroup. They want to demonize marginalized groups of people, and if it gets far enough, they want to kill them all and basically purify, quote unquote, like society as a whole. But far left, we're like, we want you to be able to control your workplaces and live a comfortable life and have healthcare. Like that's literally what far left is.
No.
Like, if these people had free healthcare, I mean, obviously that's not what Zohran's going to be able to do because he's just the mayor. But if hypothetically, if we had people in New York City have affordable groceries, affordable housing, free buses, transportation to get to work and stuff like that, higher minimum wage, maybe, livable minimum wage, maybe universal basic income.
What the hell?
Maybe not even a minimum wage, maybe a universal basic income. Maybe fucking, maybe they all had unionized workplaces. Maybe they all, had healthcare that they could afford, things like that. It would be a much better society for not only those people, but also for the people who are at the top right now. Because the other thing is, when you're so rich, you have, in order to stay sane and be okay with hoarding billions of dollars, you have to dehumanize people who are less than you, people who have less than you. Because if you don't, you cannot mentally live with that. Because you're sitting there with people who have over $10 billion. Like, they could get rid of $9 billion. Their living conditions would probably change not at all. And they would save so many lives. But they don't do that because they're hoarding it. And so it's like, this is why I'm a proponent for a wealth cap. This is why I'm a proponent for taxing
what the
them.
hell? Wealth
having
cap?
a high marginal income tax. But so it's like those people have to dehumanize these other people, these other human beings, leading to relationships with only people who are also rich and wealthy, who are often, maybe spoiled, maybe kind of annoying to be around.
Assholes.
Yeah, it's like you're just... it would lead to a better outcome for everybody. Is what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah, it would. Like wealth cap of like 10 million.
Or, I would say you don't need more than $100 million.
No, you don't even need more than 10 million, really.
You really don't. But even if we were to make it as $1 billion, you don't need more than that.
Yeah.
People like Elon Musk don't need $300 billion to their name.
Sure they do.
Yeah, they do. Well, how are they going to buy
some groceries?
Yeah. How are they going to buy a giant plant in Memphis, Tennessee so they can pollute the water? And
yes. Dude, it's bad.
It's really bad.
We got to talk about that next time.
We should. Yeah, I have a lot of family in Memphis. Okay, I wanted to see them talk about the wedding thing. They're not even talking about the wedding. They're just talking about his.
Well, they might. It's 5 minutes. They might talk about it in a minute.
Let's see. Let me just skip through a little bit.
And I think that's one of the reasons in New York.
Yeah, I started working here.
Mamdani refers to his supporters as comrades.
He's scary. Okay, let's just read this article because I guess this is about it. It says New York. Wait. Actually, I had another one. Let's see.
Yeah.
This was... Yeah. Here we go. This is it.
Oh shit, it's muted.
Mamdani announced last week that he was traveling to Uganda in a, quote, personal capacity.
I'm going back to Uganda. I'm headed there in a personal capacity to celebrate Rama and I's marriage with our family and friends. But I do want to apologize to the haters, because I will be coming back.
Shit, hopefully they let him back.
I hope so.
That celebration was a lavish 3-day party at his family's
Oh my god, they put New York
estate
Post in their thing.
Dude, it's so funny.
outside Uganda's capital. The neighborhood is home to some of Uganda's richest citizens.
The caption says, oh wait, why does it do that when I try to do that? It says Mamdani, who says there shouldn't be billionaires, has wedding in celebration in wealthy neighborhood.
Equipped with around 20 Special Force Command unit guards, some of whom were wearing masks. And one source telling the New York Post that several armed guards were stationed at one gate. Another source went on to tell the Post that the family had a cell phone jamming system on site. Reports say the party ended around midnight with expensive cars seen taking partygoers to and from the lavish event. Talk about
this is 8 minutes.
I know.
Shit.
And isn't it?
No, they were literally, when I was in the gym, they were talking about this for at least 15 minutes. I was I kept looking out and looking over, and they would go to a different story, and they'd come back to it and be like, "Let me just talk about this one more time." So Zohran Mamdani has a nice wedding in Uganda. It's literally, who gives a shit about this?
Yeah,
I don't know who is oh yeah, he was gonna make buses free and make groceries more affordable. But
he's a socialist.
He did have that nice wedding in Uganda, so that's my deal breaker. I'm not gonna vote for him. It's literally, I don't give a shit. I don't care about this. I love this so much. I love how much they care about this.
Isn't it rich, Mark, coming from a mayoral hopeful that decrees and decries such wealth disparity and says, oh, everyone who has money, it should be given to the poor? What a hypocrite.
Sounds like his supporters, all those rich people. Who,
yes.
I call these guys Mercedes Marxists.
Nice.
I call these guys Mercedes Marxists. Here's the thing. And then people say this about Hassan Piker a lot too.
Yeah.
Where they're like, Hassan Piker, you have a lot of money and you claim to be a socialist. You can't do that because it's hypocrisy. But it's no, that's not how that works. Just because you say you're a socialist and you advocate for better living conditions and higher tax on the wealthy, doesn't mean you can't be wealthy. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy things that are brought about by the capitalist system. You can advocate for better gun laws and then have armed guards especially when here's the thing too, is we live in this system that has gun laws where people can literally just buy an AR and go shoot up a bunch of people in New York City, happened a few days ago. And then, so in order to keep yourself safe in that regard, sometimes you have to have armed guards. Now, he was in Uganda. I don't know what, maybe it's an unsafe area. I don't know. He said it was a wealthy neighborhood. I don't really care.
Yeah.
The point is, it doesn't matter if you're, the criticism of saying, you can't be rich and be a socialist is saying, hey, you're rich. That should mean you should hate me as a poor person.
Yeah.
You should be advocating to make my life worse. But why are you advocating to make my life better? What are you doing? You're a hypocrite. It's no. If you're arguing that taxes should be raised on the rich and you're a rich person, that means you're advocating for your own conditions to be taxed higher so that other people can live like you. It's not, socialism is not about making people poorer. It's about making everybody more equally, not wealthy, but like available, affordable. And it's more about making everything affordable, more affordable. And so it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of a stupid argument that they always try to make about more. I don't know. It's just stupid.
This guy is a moron. He's never done anything with his life.
Oh my God.
He grew up with money. He knows slogans. He knows cliches. He's really never done anything effective. He's 33 years old. I admit he's older than Castro was when he took over Cuba, was 29.
He's never done anything effective. Dude, he just won the primary he got more votes in that primary than like we've ever seen in a New York City primary, Democratic primary. And he had 50,000 people door knocking for a primary election, which is like a significant amount of the electorate of the primary.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
He has mobilized people in such an extreme way, more than anybody we've seen in recent like history.
Yeah.
Like this is insane. To say that he's never done anything effective. He just ran one of the most effective Democratic primary campaigns ever.
9 years old. But if New Yorkers are foolish enough to vote this man into office, you will deserve him. He will destroy your job base. He will destroy your tax base. He will enrich Florida. He will destroy your housing base. In other words, all the people these Marxists claim to want to help will be ruined. The blue-collar workers won't have jobs. Taxes will go up.
Dude, he's not the fucking president of the United States. He doesn't control jobs, or maybe does, but he doesn't really have us, you know.
Yeah, they're just loonies.
They're just like freaking out.
Okay, do you want to?
Oh yeah, you want to talk about the new left party?
Yeah, yeah.
And then, we can. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, this is actually worth talking about, and it's relevant to the conversation we were just having about Mamdani and everything.
Have you heard about the new left party in the UK or looked at it?
Yeah, it's like a socialist party. I'm pretty sure.
It's with Jeremy Corbyn, which I think he is like a socialist or at least a leftist guy. And then there's another, there's a girl too. I forgot what her name is, but I know Jeremy Corbyn. And so in 24 hours after launching, they've already passed the Reform Party and the Tories with 230,000 members.
I think I saw,
but there's a new figure actually.
It's like 400.
Yeah, it's like a lot now.
I believe I saw
like Fight for the Future for sure.
Yeah, I sent that to one of my friends that lives in the UK. This is a Fight for the Future. They said breaking new socialist party breaks 400,000 members, becoming the largest party in the UK within just a few days. Yeah, it's great. It seems like they're super, I don't know, just good at organizing this.
Yeah.
And
I mean, dude, they got 500,000 members in like a couple days, a week.
It's really great. It's really great. I think it's like, it shows just how, not even just nationally, but internationally, like, tides are shifting. People want, they want
legit
more
change.
Yeah, they want actual change.
Better, they want, better. Dude, I mean, this party straight up talk about like nationalizing like resources.
Because this isn't even a democratic socialist. This is, I think, full-on socialist.
Yeah, full-on socialist, leftist. But they've talked about like nationalizing like housing and a couple other of like, I don't know, yeah.
Labor's membership was around 309,000 in February, down 11%, and this one now has 400,000. Which Labor Party, I'm pretty sure, is like the Democratic Party here.
Ugh.
It's like essentially the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's have public services that serve the public good, not private profit. Let's have politics based on true patriotism, building a country that provides security, freedom, and opportunity for everybody. They seem awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw this one thing where they were talking about like legit like nationalizing like the housing, and it was one other thing. I forgot what. Oh, construction.
That's what's up.
And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
They're.
I hope that they win elections and they continue to kill it, because we need more stuff like this to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To happen so that we can. Because like I mean right now we still have people who go like, well, what socialism's scary because socialism means dictatorship, but it's like not.
Yeah, no.
It's like there has been socialist leaders and communist leaders that have been dictators, but that doesn't mean that it's inherent to socialism. There's also been capitalist leaders who have been dictators.
Oh yeah.
And also, if you look at the current capitalist system, we don't live under a true democracy.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination, our vote does not matter as much as someone like Elon Musk deciding, who's again, not even from this country, and is like a vast billionaire.
A South African illegal immigrant.
Exactly.
Billionaire.
He people like Bill Gates, Mark Cuban, all these billionaires, their votes count. Not their votes as much, but their capital counts way more than our vote counts. And so it's just worth saying. It's like, we vote for our members of Congress, and they don't usually reflect what we want them to do.
Yeah,
right now, we have 8% of people in the Democratic Party that support Israel, and we have probably 90% of the Democratic Party in Congress that supports Israel. That's not democratic. We have Donald Trump in office, despite him, winning a plurality of votes. He didn't even win. The first time, he didn't even win popular vote at all. This time, he did win popular vote, but if you look at, you combine third parties with Kamala Harris, and they actually won a plurality, not a majority. So it's like, also we have a bunch of like voter disenfranchisement that happens all across the country.
That's currently happening in
gerrymandering.
Texas.
Gerrymandering in Texas. This is actually very important. I didn't bring anything about this, but currently they're trying to gerrymander Texas out of oblivion, which if they're able to do that, gerrymandering is basically where you redraw congressional districts.
They're erasing a line and putting a new line.
Pretty much. And if they are able to do it, it would really fuck up. If they're able to get away with doing it, then they can kind of do it in a lot of places. And if they do that, our votes will be essentially meaningless in a lot of areas. And it could really fuck us up in 2026 when, even though Trump might be super, super unpopular and the Republicans might be super, super unpopular, we still might not be able to get Democratic leadership in because of the extreme gerrymandering that's already happened, by the way, because Democrats refuse to use it to their own advantage. And they're like, rightfully, they're against it, which it should be against it. Yeah. But you can't just be against it and not do anything about it if the other guys are going to use it like hell. It's like fucking...
That's the Democrat motto. Be against something, but just, we can't do anything about it.
It's like, you should bring up laws to make it illegal, but... Right now it exists, and the Republicans use it all the time, and it fucks us up. Yeah. And the Democrats just go like, well,
what are you going to do?
We're not going to do it because that's bad. And it is. But like, they're using it, and you're not doing anything about it. So fucking do something about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, super big, important thing. But socialism is not going to lead to a
global empanada.
Yeah, an empanada.
Empanada. Empanada.
If anything, it's going to lead to a more democratic society.
Yeah.
More democratic workplaces, more democratic allocation of resources of what we use our spending from, more democratic allocation of wealth. It's just, it always pisses me off when people say like that, leftists want like this dictatorship. Like, I don't want a dictatorship by any means.
Yeah.
They want a
dang dictatorship.
If anything, I want a democracy that we currently don't have.
Yeah.
Like, I want to fix our democracy that we currently do not have. Because it's an illusion of democracy. It's an illusion of choice that we have.
It's illusion.
Because the thing is, it's so many things that are big, like Gaza, are also uniparty.
Yeah.
We don't actually have a choice. It's like, oh, you want to vote for a third party? That's completely impossible. It's like, well, I don't feel represented. It's like, too fucking bad. That's not a democracy. That's not a fucking democracy.
Too bad. Too sad.
Exactly. Okay, you want to talk about the DOJ stuff? Or you want to talk about
let's
the EU
talk about
tariff?
the EU thing. I feel like that's more relevant. So, Trump made a trade agreement.
Tariffs are back, baby.
Not for the EU.
Oh, okay.
But
still 15%, right?
Yeah, 15% with... It was like shit. I forgot what country, but it's in the article somewhere where it was like 15%.
European Union.
Yeah. So prior to the agreement, the EU faced a prospect of 30% tariffs. Instead, products from one of the largest. So yeah, 15% tariff. I guess
I made a deal. I was gonna do something really bad, and now I said I'm gonna make it half as bad.
Yeah,
still bad, but not as bad.
in exchange from all that, the European companies would buy $750 billion worth of energy from the U.S. over 3 years, invest an extra $600 billion in the U.S.
Okay.
Trump touted the agreement as the biggest deal ever made. I love it.
I was going to make things really expensive, and now I'm going to make them less expensive, but still very expensive.
Yeah. And then, said the agreement creates, so the EU commissioner president, I don't even know how to say, I'm not even trying to say that name.
Der Leyen?
You're so Von Dick.
Yeah.
But said the agreement creates certainty in uncertain times. True. That's kind of true.
It creates certainty in uncertain times.
Yeah.
I don't know if it creates certainty.
The fuck is my... Oh my god, dude.
What?
I've been getting spam calls like crazy recently. I don't know why, but
dang,
something about a homeowner's insurance. They're like, please agree to this homeowner's insurance, right? I'm like, someone used my phone number, I guess.
Oh, that does happen sometimes.
I keep getting fucking calls.
I was
yesterday I got like 3 calls in a row, blocked the number, and then while I was at work I got a call from the same person. And so I blocked the number, but somehow they were still able to call me.
This would be a perfect part to introduce a brand deal for like some company,
Yeah.
company that I've worked with in the past
Yeah.
before, but unfortunately, they're not sponsoring the
Yeah.
podcast. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
This is kind of crazy because like Trump always does this shit where he's like,
Dude, apparently they're... Wait, scroll down a little bit too. Scroll. So it was like, I think they're going to buy like, just, I don't know, it's going to be shittier.
Yeah.
For the European countries.
But also, it's like, this is a regressive tax.
Yeah, no, it
This
is.
is what we've talked about when it happened last
Yeah.
time. But like, tariffs are an import tax that the company
Yeah.
pays when they want to import something from a different country. And when the company pays it, what do?
They raise the prices 15%.
They raise the prices because they have to pay more for the product. So
Yeah.
it's a tax on the corporations
Yeah.
that is almost always passed on to the consumer. And so it disproportionately affects someone like Elon Musk, who's going out to buy a fucking shoe that was made in the EU or something, is not going to be...
tariffs.
He's not going to go, oh, dang, it's like a little bit more expensive because of the tariffs. But someone who's like trying to buy shoes for their kid and
Yeah.
is living in poverty is going to feel that.
Oh,
So
no,
that's
yeah.
why we call it a regressive tax, because it will disproportionately affect people who are lower income than people who are higher income. And the other thing is, like, Trump's like, well, you know, we're going to bring back American manufacturing, but we're also going to raise a bunch of money. It's like that; those two things don't work together.
Yeah.
You either raise money because the tax is being paid and we're not bringing back manufacturing, because if we're raising money, that means we're buying stuff from that country still,
Yeah.
and the tax is being paid. And that means we're doing a regressive tax on the lowest income people in the country. But also, if it brings back manufacturing, that means we're not raising money because we're not buying stuff from that country anymore. So it's like, it's just, I don't know. They piss me off.
Yeah, I can.
You can't tell.
Yeah, I can tell.
No, but this is so stupid. I hate when he does this. Why are you slapping a 15% tariff on them?
Because they're woke and gay. you know?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, they're woke and gay and bad.
The woke and gay tariff.
Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, the woke tariff. Okay, well, I would like to get into this other stuff, but I do have to go to my physical
I have to
therapist
call.
appointment. So we're gonna end it up here.
Yes.
Maybe next week we'll talk more about the Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll have a bunch of other stuff going on that we'll talk about. So
Yeah.
tune in next week.
Oh.
Huh.
It's just like we have to film it earlier, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
See you
thanks
guys
for watching. Check this episode out next if you want to.
You might like it.
I hear it's a banger. A little birdie told me that. And yeah, I'm gonna punch you in the face, but I'm gonna punch you in the face on August 1st. But I've made a deal where I'm only gonna punch you half as hard.
I'm gonna slap you a little, maybe.
So you better be happy about that. Fucking ungrateful piece of shit. I didn't even get a single thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.